I guess you could say this movie was ape-mazing. Just, you know what? If you unsubscribe from my channel for that, I don't blame you. What's up guys, I'm jacobtsuggs and welcome back to another video. And it's been quite some time since my last video because everyone I know has kind of vanished. Everybody's just been doing stuff this summer, including myself, so I really haven't had the opportunity to make any videos, but I've got this video and a Spider-Man video coming out soon, so look forward to that. Anywho, last night I did see War for the Planet of the Apes, and I really loved it. I feel like I've been saying that a lot, but this year's just been great for movies, so I'm not really complaining. Was that a gunshot? Okay, well that's good. Now when it comes to third installments, that's typically the make it or break it point. What I mean by that is I've seen plenty of really good sequels, but the third time around usually isn't as strong. So I had a lot of concerns going into this movie because I loved Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and I really loved Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So I wanted to love this one too, and thankfully I did, and I get to talk about it now. Now when people talk about great film trilogies, they usually talk about Back to the Future, the original Star Wars trilogy, Lord of the Rings, and the High School Musical trilogy. All jokes aside, I kid you not, I feel like War for the Planet of the Apes completely solidifies this new trilogy as one of the greatest film trilogies ever made. And I know that's really high praise, but I've got to be honest, and I feel like that's what this movie does. And yet again, this is a word that I typically don't use, but I'm using it now because I feel like I need to say it in my mind and in my personal opinion. I feel like this movie is an absolute masterpiece. This movie was fantastic and phenomenal in almost every way, from the writing, the script, the characters, the action, the direction. All of it worked together amazingly. And that's mainly due to Matt Reeves being one of the best filmmakers working today. Yeah, I said it. And even with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, he added a lot more grit to this franchise, which I feel like it was needed, and he adds even more to this franchise in this film. Not to mention this movie has just breathtaking and beautiful cinematography. I feel like I'm not going as in depth as I probably should, but I feel like I don't have to whenever I'm saying these incredible things about a movie this grand. But in my opinion, what makes this movie so great, aside from the story being really well written, are the characters in the story. The character of Caesar has grown for 3 movies now, and has solidified that we should care for these characters even though they're just, at the end of the day, apes. And something that I love about these movies is that the apes typically don't speak English aside from Caesar and maybe a few others. It's primarily due to facial recognition and physical emotion that carries the weight of the dialogue. Most of it's through like sign language and using hand motions and just grunting, but we still get that emotion from those characters because the performances are just so great. Oh, and in case I forgot to mention it, Andy Serkis, you need an Oscar. Just give it to him, please. And the technology has really just brought us to the point to where it all feels real and it doesn't feel like we're watching CGI stuff, so I'm just saying, I think it's about time. And Woody Harrelson in this movie is phenomenal. The great thing about this villain, or this antagonist, is the fact that we can see where he's coming from. And I've said it once and I've said it again, the best kinds of villains are the ones that we can kind of see where they're coming from and can resonate with. Because if we can see that, we can see where their motivations are coming from and where they want to go, and it just makes for an overall better antagonist. Caesar wanted to share the planet, yet humans don't want to share the planet, which creates an interesting dynamic for the movie itself. And I think it's really interesting because we're almost rooting for the apes in this movie, not so much the humans, because we're witnessing the fall of the human race and the fall of humanity in general. Okay, I don't mean to upset anybody whenever I say this, but I'm being very much serious. There's a lot of symbolism to the Holocaust in this movie. Apes are being put in camps and being forced to do work that they don't want to do. They're being forced to build a wall and a fortress for humanity. And I couldn't help but notice that it felt almost like a Holocaust movie and felt like kind of a throwback to those kinds of films. And even though this movie has symbolism, the symbolism isn't heavy-handed, much like it is in other recent blockbusters. This isn't just a movie about action and explosions. It's a film that's actually kind of depressing and sad. The third act of this movie is, without going into spoilers, almost like an escape film, and I really like that. I just find it interesting when a character is forced to escape out of a place they don't want to be in, and I thought it was really interesting and fun to watch. And the last thing I want to mention is, it's been quite the year for Michael Giacchino so far, so once again he delivers with another beautiful, haunting score for this film. So if you haven't listened to the soundtrack, just go check it out. It's absolutely wonderful. Then again, so is this movie. This film definitely puts this trilogy in one of the top 10 for me, and I absolutely love this movie. I think it's a near perfect experience while watching it. I can't recommend this movie enough. In fact, I really loved it. And like I said, I'm hesitant to say the word, but I'm gonna say it once again. It's a masterpiece, and I can't wait to see what Matt Reeves does next. AKA the Batman, AKA I can't frickin' wait! Anywho, what did you think of War for the Planet of the Apes? Did you love it like me? Did you hate it? If so, how? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And as always, I'm FrameByFrame. Remember the name. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.